morning. Welcome to Law Power Hour. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I can't give you the outcome of the Michigan-Ohio State game, but whoever you root for, have fun and don't go out drinking. Just stay in the house and watch the game if you're drinking. Have a good time. Well, we're really lucky today. Linda, thanks for coming back.
I'm really glad to be here, Barry.
And Linda was with us before. She's from Lakeshore Legal Aid.
Yes.
And what do you do at Lakeshore Legal Aid?
Well, I work with people who need expungements. That's one of the things that we do. We also work with people who need driver's license restorations. I'm in a specialized unit called private attorney involvement, and we actually find and recruit lots and lots of private attorneys who are willing to do cases for our clients without charging them an attorney fee. So it's really a wonderful program, and it's only part of the work that Lakeshore Legal Aid does, but that's what I'm involved in.
So you're more or less the outreach person to look for the volunteers in the legal community who are willing to assist your organization.
Yes, and it makes such a huge difference because there's no way we could serve everybody who is low income in the Tri-County and actually the 17-county area that we serve. There's one legal aid attorney for every 13,000 people who are eligible for our services. So we're very grateful to the volunteer attorneys who work with our clients.
Now, we have a program coming up this Thursday.
Yes.
It's kind of an exciting program, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And this program is November 30th at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., correct?
Yes.
And where's the program at?
It's going to be at the Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church at 2080 West Grand Boulevard.
And what's the significance and importance of this program? What distinguishes this program from all the other programs?
Well, there's going to be lots of attorneys there able to work with clients on a variety of issues. For example, we're going to have volunteer attorneys there working with people on clearing a criminal record so that it's sealed and so that when people apply for jobs or subsidized housing, that record doesn't come up and they're able to get work and housing.
You mean if I have a record and it's not cleared, I can't get subsidized housing?
Yes, if it comes up, then they will tell you that you are not going to be able to have that subsidized housing. Even though there are some problems with that, there are some regulations that say they're supposed to look more carefully into what the conviction is for. Sometimes that doesn't happen, and it's pretty much a blanket refusal.
Now, my law firm and your organization are collaborating with the UAW, Henry Ford, the unions, a lot of different unions in this community, and a lot of different organizations to bring about this construction trades resource fair. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you understand how the fair works?
Well, no, I think I do, but possibly.
It's a three-part program. The first part of the program is where we have an opportunity to get people to come in. And it doesn't matter if you have outstanding tickets, you think you may have an outstanding warrant, we still want you to come in because we want to help you get your house in order. We want to help you get redirected. We want to help you get on your feet to make sure that you can go to the next step in the program. That's our job. You understand that?
Oh, that part I do understand. We're going to be doing work with people who need expungements, and we will take those cases back to the office after the attorneys work with people who are eligible. We will file the cases in court, and then we'll find a volunteer attorney to go to people's court hearing.
Now, what is an expungement? Because a lot of people out here hear the term expungement. They'll say, well, there's going to be an expungement fair. And, you know, they get tired of hearing the term expungement. What is an expungement and how does it work?
It means that if you are eligible under the statute, you can go to court and have the judge seal your record. And what that means is that it cannot be seen by most employers. And so when you go to apply for a job, you're able to get work. In housing, it also means it can't be seen by landlords so that you're able to get the subsidized housing that you want to get.
And also credit card companies, it's sealed from them, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so let me give you an example. I'm driving under the influence of alcohol, and it's a third offense. Can I get expunged?
No, because the statute says that traffic offenses can never be sealed. So there's only certain types of convictions that can be sealed. Anything that's non-violent, for example, first and second degree murder cannot be sealed. First, second, third degree criminal sexual conduct or child abuse cannot be sealed. Fourth degree criminal sexual conduct, it depends on the date of your conviction. Sometimes that can be sealed, sometimes it cannot. Anything having to do with pornography, that cannot be sealed. Federal convictions also cannot be handled under the state law. If you have convictions in other states, that cannot be sealed by a Michigan court. So there are some exceptions.
But if you come to the expungement fair and you have a conviction in another state, we can get you the information as to whether you're eligible for expungement in another state. For example, I had a young man at expungement fair last year, and he had a felony in Arizona. And we were able to get the information so that he could get an expungement in Arizona. Had another one in Virginia, and there's no expungement in Virginia. So on a state-by-state basis, we're capable of assisting people to find out whether they're eligible for expungement.
And
Go ahead.
that's absolutely the case. And as a legal aid agency, we can put you in touch with the legal aid organization that might assist you in that state if your income is low.
Good morning.
Good morning, Attorney Keller. I have a question for you. I have two DUIs and a domestic violence situation. My domestic violence situation was the first offense, and then I got a DUI after that, which caused that to become a felony. And then I received my second DUI. This all happened in 2001 and 2003. Can one of those offenses be expunged?
The two traffic offenses are not expungible, but could I ask, did you get probation or serve time for the domestic violence offense?
Probation.
And when was your probation up?
2002, I believe. It was only a 6-month probation.
Sounds like, based on what you're telling me, that you would be eligible for an expungement of the domestic violence conviction, yes.
Okay, let's talk about the rules of the road. Expungement means you have to be free of any charges for 5 years, whether you're released from parole, correct?
Right.
Off probation, you have to be clean for 5 years.
You have to be 5 years from the whatever happened last in the case for the conviction that you want to expunge. So in the example we just had, because the gentleman had been off of probation for 5 years, he's eligible to expunge that conviction. But let me just make a different hypothetical. Suppose his DUIs had occurred, say, in 2007, 2008. That wouldn't keep him from going before the judge and getting an expungement. But if his DUIs were this year, in 2017, then that would be a little closer case. It would be up to the judge to decide if the judge felt that this person should have an expungement or not, because they look at what you have been doing since your conviction that you want to expunge. So it just depends on the judge in that instance.
So what you're saying, if I can translate that,
Yes.
it's discretionary with the judge.
Yes,
So it's not obligatory, it's not mandatory, it's discretionary.
that's correct.
But what is mind-boggling to me is that any person who's listening to this show or their relatives who has any question in their mind as to whether they can be expunged, whether they're 25 or 60, or 65 for that matter, if it's important to get expunged, should not stay away from this opportunity that's being provided to you by the community, by all of these agencies and groups working together and businesses working together. You should not stay away from this program. It's free to find out if you have an expungement opportunity, correct?
It is, and I agree. I would much rather people come, even if they think that they may not be eligible, because there are a lot of quirks in this statute, And we do try to look at everything and make a judgment as to whether or not we can help someone. So I really encourage people to come out. It's an opportunity to talk to an attorney. There's no charge for that, and there's no downside to coming.
Yeah, the police aren't going to be there to arrest people when you're going to find out if you're eligible for expungement. They're going to not be there to do anything that's going to be related to causing you to be incarcerated. This is an area where you can come to find out whether you're eligible for expungement or if you've got other problems in your record. Now, you use certain programs to get information. One of them is called iChat, correct?
Right.
And tell us, what is iChat and how does it work?
It stands for Internet Criminal History Access Tool. It's a database that the state police make available, and we will be pulling those records at the event and paying for them because there is a charge. And it tells what is on a person's criminal record. It's not always entirely accurate. I've certainly known it not to be accurate, but it's just the best idea we can get beyond people's memory of what happens. A lot of times people know exactly what happened, but sometimes they don't know exactly what happened because it's so many years ago, for example. We've worked with people that their conviction was 30 years ago, and sometimes then they don't remember whether they were convicted of one or two different offenses on the same day. And that's important in figuring out whether or not a person is legally eligible. So we use that tool.
So if I come down to Tabernacle on the 30th and I want to get my driving record checked to see if I have any outstanding warrants because I'm afraid that I can't go into this program or may not be eligible because I don't have a driver's license, can I get help on that issue?
We are going to be taking a number of driver's license cases that we will be taking back to our office at Lakeshore to work on. But we will not be able to pull the driver's license records at the event because that involves the Secretary of State mobile truck, and that mobile truck, you have to book it. I understand they're now booking for October of 2018. But we can help people thanks to the assistance from the UAW, the United Auto Workers. They're going to provide some of the fees that they charge for that record so that we will be able to help some people with driver's license restoration after the event.
And if you need information on how to approach city attorneys or the courts, I will be there personally, and I will tell you the best days of the week to go talk to the city attorney and the times to go talk to the city attorney, because they'd rather talk to you and help you straighten out your driving record than have you get picked up for driving on a suspended or revoked license.
Right.
Because while those are misdemeanors, if you get a few of those, they become felonies. Now, my friends out there who have problems with child support, we want you to show up for the program because the friend of the court's going to be there. And the friend of the court's going to give you great advice on how to clear up your problems. It's not a sin to owe money. It's a sin not to confront the issue. If you confront the issue, then we can help you come up with a plan for payment. You do that over at your legal aid, don't you?
We do. We have a call center that people can call into to get advice and brief service on how to file the different motions that need to be filed for the friend of the court. But this is an amazing opportunity because you're going to have the friend of the court right there, and they're going to be able to tell people what the situation is and what needs to be done. So I really hope as many people as possible will come to take advantage of that opportunity also.
I've solicited one of the guests that have been on our show in the past, Raymond Saloom. He's a bankruptcy lawyer, and he will be there because we have a lot of people who don't want to go to work and pay taxes because of creditors. They're afraid that they're going to get garnished, lose their paycheck, so they'd rather work under the table than have a decent job. So Raymond's going to be there to give people advice on how to take care of these problems. You also do that over at Legal Aid, don't you?
We do some of that, and we also find volunteer attorneys to do bankruptcies, because that's very important. It is important that if people work, that they get the benefit of the wages that they're earning and not be subject to garnishment.
This is a resource fair. That means if you have any issues related to the law, whether it be an expungement, whether it be your driving record, whether it be a landlord-tenant problem, anything that's going to stand in your way of getting back on your feet, we want you to come down and talk to us. We want you to come in so that we can give you some direction and help.
That's right.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your wonderful organization. How many different units do you have in your organization?
We have offices all throughout Wayne County, Oakland County, Macomb County, and 17 counties in the thumb area of the state of Michigan. Lakeshore Legal Aid has been around for 51 years, providing services to people with low income. We have a call center that I referred to earlier. If you call into this number, you will talk to an attorney if your income is low. It's called the Counsel and Advocacy Law Line, or CALL for short, and the number is 888-783-8190. 888-783-8190. So we do encourage people to call in. The call center is open Monday through Thursday from 9 till 7 o'clock at night. Often the hours between 5 to 7 are good hours to call because we recently expanded the services to those hours. We're hoping people will take advantage of that, and they're open Fridays from 9 to 3. And as I say, you will speak with an attorney, and that attorney will be able to give you advice, and sometimes they're able to help people, walk them through how to file a motion, certainly send them the sample pleadings and things like that that they need. So it's a very, very important service.
Now, you offer multiple services, though. You handle expungements. You give information on driving records, correct?
Right. Our staff attorneys work on domestic violence divorces, or divorces for people who have barriers that they would not be able to do it themselves with some of the self-help resources that are available. We also do landlord-tenant representation for people who are being evicted, or for people who are brought to court for non-payment of rent. And a lot of times there are important defenses that the attorneys can raise, and we do that in all of the areas in the counties, the 17 counties that we serve. We also assist seniors with problems that are unique that seniors have. We also do mortgage foreclosure cases. Public benefits is a huge area. People who need help getting food stamps, Medicaid, Medicare, family independence payments, Social Security, disability, supplemental security income. I mean, there's just really a wide range of services that we provide to people who are low income.
You know, I'm listening to you, and I can identify through my clients so many different barriers that stand in the way of people getting on their feet and going back to work. For example, domestic violence. People have to move out of the house. There's one person who's in charge of the house, and she or he may not be able to go to work. But if they come to the resource fair, people will be there to help them find ways so they can go to work and support their families.
Right.
So it's really important to participate in this program. People going through divorce, who are losing their home for that matter. We're trying to remove barriers to make life possible. There's a need for people to find good jobs. The jobs that are being offered through the Construction Trades Resource Fair are what I consider to be primo jobs. These are jobs that are not starting at entry levels. If you have the skill set if you have a clean record, you know, you have a great opportunity to get a job.
Absolutely.
You go in as an apprentice, for example, in plumbing, $16 an hour, pipe fitter, $16, $18 an hour. These are incredible opportunities. And we're going to give people these opportunities. We're not going to actually give them the opportunities. They've got to come to us, and we're going to open their eyes to the opportunities that are available to them so that they can select the path that they want. Did you know there are going to be counselors there to talk to people about various vocational paths?
That's wonderful.
And people are going to be there to help direct them if they have to complete math skills or English skills or literacy skills so that they can get back on their feet.
That's a fabulous opportunity, and we hope a lot of people will take advantage.
Okay, we're going to take a break for a minute or two, and we're going to come back. We've got a couple more guests coming on today. I want to thank you for coming.
I'm so glad to be here, and we hope to see as many people as possible on Thursday.
Thank you, Linda, again.
Thank you.
It's good to see you.
Okay.
Are you in legal trouble? Are you in need of legal advice? Or just have general legal questions? Call 1-800-529-8721. That's 1-800-LAW-USA1. And watch Law Power Hour and get your questions answered by experienced attorneys who are experts in their field. That's Law Power Hour, hosted by Barry Keller, attorney at law. Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on WHPR Detroit Live.
Well, we're back again to talk about the construction trade fair coming up. Lillian Lowry is with us. How are you this morning?
I'm great, thank you.
Good.
Glad to be here with you.
Well, we're happy to have you. You know, you have a very important role in this program. Tell us what Henry Ford Hospital is doing.
So I met Ike Washington at one of our outreach events, and during the event we talked a little bit about the importance of getting more minorities in the trade program. And with Henry Ford, we have several projects coming up, but one of the key things is Henry Ford has always been a part of the community. We have 5 locations, including the one on Grand Boulevard, and one of the things that's very important to us is really helping our community. And so this program gave us another way to really get directly connected to the community, helping them with jobs. It's also providing some resources at the construction trade fair. We're going to have a speaker that will talk about drug abuse and some resources to help clear up some things that people, misconceptions about, such as the marijuana card, to talk about that and give a better understanding on what that means.
You know, if you're using a marijuana card for medical purposes, more likely than not, you may not be able to get to work in one of these programs because you have to pass a drug screening test.
Exactly.
And if you have a medical marijuana card, it's going to be an interesting question down the road whether you're being discriminated against because of a legitimate medical marijuana card, and whether your employer has to make a reasonable accommodation for you, because the ADA has not addressed that issue so far.
Yeah.
But under the Americans with Disability Act, more likely than not, they're going to have to address the issue. However, your program is going to touch upon some real sensitive issues today,
Yes.
and one of those issues is opiates. So let's just lay it out in front of us here. OxyContin's a big problem here in this country, and opiates are a big problem, correct?
They are a very big problem.
And getting people off of opiates, getting them back on their feet, and getting them rehabilitated is a goal that we all have, isn't it?
Yes.
And the importance of it is really, really not considered until it hits home.
Yes.
And that's the problem. Now, you at Henry Ford work with this every day, don't you?
We work with several issues. Henry Ford is a leader in just really working with the community and those issues that are very important, just health, diabetes. They do special sessions at churches. They also work with the schools on different health care initiatives. So we do a lot in the community. But the reason this construction fair was really important to us, or some of the things on that day dealing with removing the barriers, there are several corporations that came together along with the community organizations with the goal of really looking at, we have all these different construction projects going on here in the city, and when you look at the minority content, it really isn't there. And we understand that with one of those jobs, when you look at making $35 an hour or $79,000 a year, the economic impact that those jobs can have on our local community. And that's why we really wanted to work together to open this opportunity, and removing the barriers was part one of a three-part program. The first one is removing the barriers, the second one will deal with soft skills, and the third part of the program we're going to actually connect them to construction companies, and that some of our projects will allow us to help connect them with some of those major construction companies here in the city. But I think the biggest thing that Henry Ford really wants to do is open other corporations' eyes, open up our community to know that we're here for them, to help them with the things that they need, whether it's medical care, whether for us, and particularly in this program, we're going to be talking about substance abuse, and just providing some resources to help them find the way, whatever issue that they're dealing with from a substance abuse, or we have resources available. We also have other community partners that we've reached out to that will bring information that will help them with mental illness as well.
So if I come down to the program and I'm habituated, I've got a substance abuse problem, whether it's alcohol, marijuana, or opiates, there are going to be speakers there. They're going to be talking about these issues and helping me find a path to recovery.
Yes, we're going to point you to some resources that are out there, that are available to really help them resolve some of those problems. And really part of it is also just talking about it, giving people an understanding and a beginning to open up and realize that they may have a problem. Sometimes you've been going down this particular pathway for a long time and you don't realize how big of a problem that you have. So this session you're going to learn a lot about some of the challenges and just the resources to help resolve those problems.
You know, one of the biggest problems we have is we're not willing to accept the fact that we have a problem.
Yes.
And sometimes we have to go all the way down to the bottom of the barrel and sink and sink and sink. But then we're too ill to go to work.
Yeah.
That becomes a very big issue. Closet drinkers develop cirrhosis of the liver, for example, and their livers are shot and they have to get a liver transplant, and then they're disabled and they can't work.
Yeah.
But we want you to calm down. If you have any of the problems, you don't have to be at the bottom of the barrel. We want to catch you before you fall to the bottom of the barrel, get you back on your feet, get you rehabilitated.
Yeah, and I would also say one of the things we talked about at the session at our community meetings was that this program is not only for those that are having those social challenges. This program is also for, you can be a college student and you just say, you know, I don't want to end up with $100,000 in debt. this gives me a career path, a way to get into the construction trades and get a great career where you can end up with a company that is willing to pay for you to continue to go to school to get your degree. So we want, this program really is for everyone. One part of your issue could be drug abuse. Another part of your issue could be your license. You have to have a license in the construction industry to be able to get to your job. You have to be able to go from this location to another location, because we did talk about it. Well, what about Uber and Lyft? Those are some temporary Band-Aids, but you really need your license to be able to do a lot of things here in the city to be successful in the construction trade. So this is a great day, and I'm so grateful to Mr. Washington for asking me to participate in this program, because we really want to do something that really will change the our community, not just a temporary change, but a permanent change. And the construction trades, construction is one of the major economic indicators that people look at as how the economy is doing. And we don't want our local community to be left behind. We don't.
Here's the issue in a nutshell. 47% of the people living in the city of Detroit are below the poverty level.
Mhm.
And it's either because they can't find a job, or they're not trained, or they don't want to work. They're not motivated.
Mhm.
So we want them to come to the program, to participate in the program, to give them the opportunity to see what's out there, and to see if we can challenge them to get invested and get involved, because we're giving our time, you're giving your time, Ike's giving his time, I'm giving my time, Linda's group is giving their time. There's a whole host of organizations that are going to be giving their time on the 30th. We're making an investment because we want you to have a better future, and it's up to you to do that. This is what we're talking about today. Now, Mr. Washington, Deacon Washington, thank you for coming. This program's being held where?
This is being held at Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church, where our pastor is Reverend Dr. Nathan Johnson. We're located at 2080 West Grand Boulevard in Detroit.
Now, you belong to that church, don't you?
I serve on the deacon ministry, yes.
And how long have you been there?
Over 25 years.
So on Sunday morning, if I get there at 10 o'clock, I'll see you, won't I?
We welcome you.
Okay, well, maybe you'll see me on Sunday. You never know what I'm up to. Now, what's really important is that people come out to the program, and you laid it out. Now, you're a plumber.
I'm a plumbing contractor. Ben Washington and Sons Plumbing and Heating. My dad started the company in 1958. And so there's a real need for this construction trade resource fair. We all hear about the work that's going on in the city of Detroit. We know about the building opportunity. We see it every day on news. We ride down Woodward, we see all the construction. And there's really about, when we look at what's what's in the planning, what's in development, we have enough construction right now for keep us busy for about 12, 15 years. Now, that does not include, Barry, the Tri-County area. It's a lot of work going on in metropolitan Detroit, a lot of construction work. The problem we're having is the unions, which the unions do not have the manpower to man these projects.
And there's a rule in the city of Detroit.
Now, Detroit is special. There's a special opportunity for Detroiters. Most of our projects are federally funded. Each project which is federally funded requires 51% of the labor to be Detroit residents, which is huge. Our problem is we can't meet it. We cannot meet it. The unions cannot meet it. So thus is this construction trade resource fair.
So when you can't meet it, what happens to the project?
It still goes forward. The project's going to get built, but the contractor end up getting penalized.
Okay, now you've been a contractor on these projects. Have you been
Yes.
penalized?
Yes. Well, in some cases, most of the time I've been able to meet it because I have pretty good Detroit residents, employees working for us.
Okay, now let's talk a little bit about your role in the construction trade fair program. I come to the program and I say, oh, Mr. Washington, I saw you on television. I want to come to work for your company.
We want to make sure they go through phase one, which is removing any and all barriers. If they do not have no barriers, then we'll get them plugged into some of our partners who can help direct them into the apprenticeship program. If they really want to get into become a plumber apprentice, I can help them directly, yes.
Okay, what partners are going to be there, for example, so people understand that this is going to be the greatest employment buffet that they've ever had the opportunity of experiencing?
Let me share. We have, of course, Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church.
So if I want to be a minister, I can go there and I can get ordained. Go ahead.
Absolutely. We have UAW Ford, Henry Ford College, Lakeshore Legal Aid. We have Mechanical Contractors Association of Detroit. We have the Brinker Group. We have CAM Construction Association of Michigan. We have Heritage, the Diggs Group. We have Henry Ford Health Centers. We have Must Career Constructions Career. We have Sir Metro Detroit, DTE Energy, Ben Washington and Sons Plumbing and Heating, Goodwill Industries as well.
So if there are jobs to become an electrician,
Yes.
you know, I've been trying to get an electrician to come to my house for a month. I can't get one. It's very difficult.
We have resources. We can refer you. The big thing for us is to get Detroit residents employee ready.
Okay.
Remove the barriers so they have an opportunity to work in the construction trades. And that will make a difference in their home. They could be gainfully employed, can make us, it will have a huge impact not only on their home and their home and families, but in the community. We're talking about changing generational change.
Okay, let's take a call here for a minute. Good morning.
Good morning.
You probably
Yeah,
wonder why
my
I cover
question
all.
is directed towards Henry Ford Community College. Would you happen to know what positions are available at that university?
At universities? What type of job are you looking for?
Henry Ford Community College.
No, they weren't our
You
partner.
mentioned Henry Ford Community College on his list.
No, they weren't one of the partners of the program.
They're a resource partner.
They're a resource partner, but are you looking, if you're looking for a particular occupation or job, are you looking for
Well, I
training?
just noticed he went down a list of people that would be there. He said the church, and he mentioned Henry Ford Community College, and I was wondering.
Henry Ford Community College, they are one of our partners. They will be there. There are several representatives, and I'm sure they can direct you to the right area if you're looking for positions there. But the focus of this first opportunity is really the barriers. It's not really providing the job opportunities. In our third session, that's where the real job opportunities will be there. But you will learn, for example, they will have information if you're looking for the construction trades. They want to prepare you to know like the type of documentation that you will need. They will also tell you what some of the requirements for the various trades, plumbing or electrical, some of the things you need in preparation for Part 3. So Henry Ford Community College will be there.
Well, I'm 12 hours short of an associate's degree at Henry Ford, and I was wondering, would they be able to assist me maybe in job training for that 12-hour session?
Yes, they will be able to assist you with job training as well. That's what this program, it's 3 parts, and one of the parts will include some job training, also soft skills. We're going to point you, for example, for the trades, there's math involved. So we're going to point you to resources to help you get the math that you would need in order to pass the test to get into the trades. And some additional points of information that we'll have available at this fair. Some people don't know where to get their birth certificate. Herman Kiefer, the one that we know, has closed. So where do I get my birth certificate? We have a full list of where to get your birth certificate, to get your license. You might even need to get your immigration documents. We have a full list that will be available there on that day. So it's full of great resources. I highly recommend you come. Henry Ford is going to be there, and some of our other partners are going to be there and have some great resources that will help you in your journey.
See, we want to help you put a package together the same way that somebody puts their CV together, their bio together, you call it what you want, so that when they go out to look for a job,
Yes.
they've got all that information together and they can make the first step correctly.
Yes.
If they have a criminal problem in the past, we want to get an expungement so that when they go in, they're going in clean. And there's no barrier in front of them that stops them and sidetracks them. This is the biggest problem. People go out and look for a job. I had a client who went for a job. He was up to become a painting contractor, and there's a lot of work. He's a great painter.
Yes.
And he went for the interview, he passed the interview, and he had a juvenile record, and it wasn't expunged.
Yes.
So it showed up, and it had to be expunged. But then the job, unfortunately, went to another person because they couldn't wait to hire a contractor.
Yes.
You know, they wanted a group leader on the job. It was a phenomenal job,
Yes.
$25 an hour.
Yes.
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 So we don't want you to have obstacles in your way. Now, you wonder, why is this on Law Power Hour? Why do I talk about this all the time? Because the more people who are employed and the more productive lives that people have, the better examples they set for their families and for their children, and the better citizens we hope they become.
Yes.
And if that's true, then we'll have less criminal activity. I mean, right now we've got 9,000 high school dropouts in the city of Detroit. We don't know what they're doing.
Wow.
And frankly, they don't know what they're doing.
Wow.
And while they're doing it, the man upstairs is laughing at the fools down on earth. So the point is, we want to correct these problems by having you come out and participate in the program. Now, you talked about some things that are really, really important, Lily, and you talked about partners being there. There's going to be information all over the room flowing, isn't it?
It is. We've been working really hard because, like you mentioned, you know, when you go to apply for a job, you don't want any obstacle in the way, and we don't want any obstacle in the way for a Detroit citizen or a minority that's looking to get these great jobs that are available. So we're going to have a lot of resources there to help. So Metro, they have a great program that helps you get ready for the trades and to get you into the trades. So these partners have been coming together and pulling, you know, reaching out to other organizations and bringing them, like Goodwill together and just continuing. And I just remember what your pastor said when we had the first meeting. He said he wants to get them fit for the journey. So this is a journey. This is not just one and done. This is a continual program that these partners have come together, committed to help make things better for the city of Detroit, the citizens of the city of Detroit, to really change the economic situation here. As you mentioned, those 9,000 high school dropouts, I hope that, you know, a good number of you will come to this program because they're going to be talking about where to go to get your high school diploma, not just a GED. You can get a high school diploma still. So those are some great resources that are going to be here on that day, and you really don't want to miss it. This is an opportunity to change your life, your sister's life, your child's life. Yes. These are really life-changing. It's a life-changing situation, and to have great people who are willing to invest their time, attorneys. If you knew how much an attorney could charge per hour, but these people are volunteering to make life better for you, don't disappoint them, and I really hope that they will come out and take advantage. Please come out and take advantage of these opportunities. It's nothing like waking up and seeing your child so proud of you because you're doing something to make their lives better. And by you getting that job, when you get that job and you go into that local grocery store and you buy the food, then they're going to start needing more employees. Then you're going to need a car. So it's going to continue to expand. The economic impact is going to be great by just you making an effort to change your life.
Good morning.
Yes, where is this job training fair going to be located?
It's at 2080 West Grand Boulevard, Tabernacle Missionary Baptist Church. One other thing I want to share, Barry. There's everyone is not necessarily college material, if you will. And just because you desire not to go to college, that's okay. But there's an excellent opportunity in the construction area. It's an excellent opportunity. So we want to encourage the people to come out and take take a part in this program on this coming Thursday, November the 30th. So you have an opportunity to get into the construction trade.
And just think it's free. You don't have to pay an employment agency.
Exactly.
I mean, can you imagine this whole program's free? You don't have to pay a lawyer.
That's right.
You don't have to pay anybody to come down to this program and participate. It's free. I sound like Jim Holly. You know, my dear friend Reverend Holly, he keeps on repeating the same words, but nobody wants to listen. I'm not a preacher. I'm just a lawyer. It's free. It's a safe zone. If you walk in the door,
Yes.
nobody is going to be looking for you in the room
Yeah.
to take you out of the door before you have an opportunity to participate. It's a safe, free zone.
Can I add this?
Well, of course you can. You're hosting it at your church. You can say whatever you want.
We will have 35 attorneys at your disposal. 35 attorneys ready to help you, not only with expungements, but with child support, traffic tickets, driver responsibility fees, all of these items that serves as barriers and stop a lot of Detroiters from getting into the employment arena.
Now, let me tell you what's really important. I'm going to say something, and I may offend a lot of people out there, but I'm going to say it anyways. I know a lot of people get these jobs, these entry-level jobs in shops, and they've got to go through one of these employment service agencies. And they're the contractor, and they're contracting with the manufacturer because they want to keep the cost of insurance down, and I won't get into everything else that's associated with it. But they're not paying any more than $10 or $12 an hour. And you're beating your head against the wall because for $10 or $12 an hour, you say, I can't afford to work. I can't afford a car. I can't afford insurance, City of Detroit. Can't put a roof over my head. Can't pay my credit cards. We're giving you the opportunity for you to make your life better.
Yes.
And that's why this program is phenomenal.
Yes.
It's a phenomenal opportunity.
Yes.
You know, so many people in life get sidetracked.
Yes.
They're going down the road, they're minding their own business, they're going to go on, get an education, they meet a significant other, they start having a family, they have to go to work, they have to put their education on the back burner,
Yes.
and something goes wrong in the household, there's a split up,
Yes.
everybody's derailed
Yes.
because your plans did not come out the way you wanted them to. So you become angry. We don't want you to become angry. We want you to have a better life, and that's why you come down the program so that you can find a better life for yourself.
Exactly.
I can't explain it any better than that.
That's right. Exactly.
On November 30th from 10 to 2, you can't beat that. So you can come at any time between 10 and 2 on November 30th to take advantage of these resources. So I highly recommend, again, think about tomorrow. You can be a part of all these great renovations that's going on within our city. You can really have a chance to have a great impact on the future of our youth, the future, your family. As you mentioned, $10 versus making $35 an hour with something, you know, that no one can ever take away from you, that skilled trade, that knowledge. You know, in Washington, being around since 1952,
58.
1958, I was like, that is absolutely amazing. And just think about all those families that have been transformed from the work that Ben Washington and that company being a construction trade, a union company, a union business. That's awesome. And he's the owner of this company. He works for himself. And that could be you. You start off working with a company, and then you spin off and do your own thing. I've met other great minority owners, such as Larry Brinker Jr. and Sr., both great construction companies and business owners in the union. So I wouldn't miss this November 30th event from 10 to 2 at all.
Absolutely.
So here's your opportunity. Learn a trade, help build the new jail, or end up in the new jail. It's your choice.
Absolutely.
Thanks for listening to Law Power Hour. We'll see you next week, and thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you in legal trouble? Are you in need of legal advice? Or just have general legal questions? Call 1-800-529-8721. That's 1-800-LAW-USA1. And watch Law Power Hour and get your questions answered by experienced attorneys who are experts in their field. That's Law Power Hour, hosted by Barry Keller, attorney at law. Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on WHPR Detroit Live.